Act 1. Noriko Kurosawa. 3 weeks earlier. May 25th, Monday morning. I always liked to shave my eyes. I can be critical about other parts of my body, but I've never complained about my eyes. With or without makeup, I think they look great. Mother used to tell me I inherited her eyes. My big sister inherited father's eyes. To be honest, I don't see any of my father's features in myself or my sister. I do agree that my eyes are exact replicas of mother's. Mother doesn't see too well anymore, and that might be something I have to also worry about in the future. But for now, my eyes are perfect, and I couldn't be happier with them. Wear eyeshadow and eyeliner to bring out my best features. Some people tell me I use too much makeup. Then I tend to overdo it and make myself look intimidating. Well, I don't really care. I mostly like the way I look, and honestly, how many people can claim the same? Today's morning ritual is the same as any other workday. I'm a slave to the wage, and I'm not proud of it. Call me a corporate sellout, but I can't survive without money. My alarm goes off at 6 a.m., the shower is running by 6:05, and I'm dry and dressed by 6:15. I skip breakfast because I'm watching my figure and spend until 6:30 working on my makeup. I'm in a cramped shoebox apartment by 6:45 a.m. Sometimes I catch my neighbor returning home from his overnight shift, and if so, I exchange simple pleasantries with him and continue on my way. Today, there's no sign of my neighbor, so I don't slow down as I descend the stairs and exit the building. In the convenience store for a can of coffee slaps another few minutes from each day. I prefer sweet milk coffees, but every now and then I'm in the mood for rich black coffee. Regardless, I never start the day without it. I don't always need the energy to boost, but it helps to stop my stomach growling. If it's a milk coffee kind of day, it's a milk coffee kind of day, so I pay for my favorite brand and get out of the store in no time. The canned coffee dives into my handbag as I continue on my way. The train station is also busy in the morning, and it's usually a struggle to navigate my way to the current platform in time for the 7:12 train. Today is no different. However, I always make it in time, because my routine has been perfected over the last few months. I boarded the train bound for Shinjuku. A cursory glance reveals that there are no empty seats, so I push through the throng of bodies and stand against the carriage wall. Whenever there are seats available, I like to sit and read, but it's much more common to have to stand and stare at my phone screen like almost everyone else. When I do read, I read the classics. Stoker, Lovecraft, Poe, horror, Western horror at that, is my favorite genre. And of course, faithless translations into Japanese are as good as it gets. English isn't nearly strong enough to read these novels in their original language. If I'm stuck staring at my phone screen, I like to stalk people online. Acquaintances with the few friends I have lead such boring lives. Post about the most mundane topics, all day, every day. I don't think they'll shrivel up and die unless they get their attention they seek. I find their dull, tedious life simply fascinating. From beyond the safety of the glass veil, I can fulfill my voyeuristic fetishes and consume as much pointless information as I desire. Knowing every mundane tidbit of people's daily lives turn me on. This morning is the same as any other. I stare down at my phone held in my frail hand. My fingers move of their own accord, scrolling and tapping against the backlit display, pausing, pondering on any post or picture that my pupils haven't yet consumed. Standing in the train carriage, I'm packed to the gills of people. I can't help but feel my face getting flushed and my steamy breath escaping my lips. I digest post after post, photo after photo, memorizing the comings and goings of every single person on my noise activity feed. I catch my breathing getting heavier, my gasp becoming short and sharp. Ray went to the dentist yesterday for a root canal. Mizuno shared some photos of her international vacation. Kawahara objects to owning pets and thinks all animals should be free. My cheeks glow crimson. My chest begins rising and falling quickly. I clutch the collar of my shirt, knuckles whitening, knees shaking. A few people in the carriage try to move away from me, but I barely notice them. My fingers keep rolling and I hit the jackpot. A new post from a coworker at my office. Tomo Watanabe. She's a gal girl. The type with heavy fake tan, bleach blonde hair, and questionable clothes. I hate her, but I love her post. This morning update reads, Tomomo, 53 minutes ago. Just found this corpse girl website. Such fake bull, ha ha ha. Waiting to meet a bitch to try it on. Tomo just discovered corpse girl's website, huh? I feel a slight squeal trying to escape from my throat as my legs threaten the buckle underneath me. I can't take the excitement anymore and I have to force my phone from my hands and bury it at the bottom of my handbag. Deep breaths, Noriko. Deep breaths. I need to calm down and control myself. Composure is key. I close my eyes and let a cool breath of air whistle through my slightly parted lips. Feeling a little calmer and no longer ready to explode, I analyze the information I just read. Someone wants to try out the Corpse Girl website. That's good. That's very, very good. Rumor has it you can visit the website and request the death of somebody you know. How and if the victim dies isn't known to the public. Because of that, some people are pretty quick to dismiss the site as a hoax. However, most entertaining part isn't how or if the victim dies, but rather what happens to the victim before they die. Supposedly, the victim will receive a photo of their own corpse. How this photo exists before the victim's life is snuffed out isn't public knowledge, but the thought of this phenomena occurring is utterly intriguing. Nevertheless, the site has been gaining popularity lately, at least in certain corners of the internet. Message boards like Noise Channel and other similar sites have picked up on the rumors and like to exaggerate the website's authenticity. The fact that someone like Tomo, a rather dense, dim-witted individual, has discovered the website means that it's actually more well-known than I previously thought. It means that people are actually talking about it outside of the internet. It is a good that Tomoko will want to try it out and request the death of someone in her office. A coworker. Me, perhaps. She hated my guts as much as I hate hers. Finally, someone exciting is going to happen in our dull workplace.
The next station is Shinjuku. The doors on the right side will open. Please change here for the Chuo line, the Shonan Shinjuku line, the Saikyo line.
As the automated announcement reads through the list of connecting train lines, I get ready to disembark. The train pulls to a stop and I contort my body around the other passengers in an attempt to exit the train. Finally free of the tangled mass of slush, I hasten my pace and navigate through the labyrinthine station. I take the exit closest to my office and settle into a slower walk. I'm on time and I never desire to reach the office any earlier than needed. The name, Temujin, is stamped across the structure in gigantic block letters. If you're looking for this building in Shinjuku, you can't possibly miss it. Temujin carries the title of Japan's third biggest banking corporation. It's a gigantic company with other branches in Kyoto, Osaka, Sapporo, Fukuoka, and a dozen smaller cities I don't even remember. I've worked here for close to 3 months now. Not a long time in the grand scheme of things. That said, I'm only a temp and all I do is data entry. I work on the 14th floor along with 60 other junior employees, including gal girl Tomo Watanabe. I don't speak to many of my coworkers. That's the way I like it. When I reach the building, enter through the giant double sliding doors and find myself in a familiar lobby. Comfortable couches line the walls circling a reception desk. 4 large elevators are tucked away in a nook behind the reception desk. It's already busy this morning, though to be fair, this place is packed all the time. I avoid the crowds of sharply dressed business people, feeling a little out of place in my semi-formal shirt and skirt. Ducking into a newly opened elevator, I tap my employee ID card to the backlit panel and press the button for my floor. Doors close, and the elevator begins its smooth descent. I'm surprised to find that I'm the only one traveling up. I reach my floor and listen to the soothing chime as all the doors open, feeling the open layout office before me. The static drone of workspace noise fills my ears. Conversation, ringing phones, fingers tapping against keyboards, photocopiers, even the steady low hum of the air conditioner contributes to the overall din. I make my way to the front desk, stationed in the middle of the floor and surrounded by a dozen of other identical desks. As I walk, somebody taps me on the shoulder gently.
Good morning, Kurosawa.
Ah, Senior Fujikawa, my senior, though he's really only a couple months older than me. He's worked here for a whole year after taking an internship straight out of senior high school. He's not an intern anymore, though I'm not quite sure of his job title.
Morning, Fujikawa.
How was your commute this morning?
Fine, same as usual.
That's good to hear. Did you read any of your novels?
He's referring to the horror books I like to read. I can tell from his tone that he doesn't exactly approve of the subject matter. I've known Shinya since junior high. We go way back, but I wouldn't exactly call us friends. However, he is the one that landed me this job, even though it's just a temporary contract. I've always had the feeling that he's a bit sweet on me. I could be way off the mark, though.
Well, I couldn't get a seat on the train today. Too hard to read while standing.
Ah, that's a shame. You, still haven't accepted my, friend request, did you know?
I have to fight the urge to roll my eyes. He's a nice guy, but we were connected on Noise once before and I had to delete him. He's super obsessed with his father's detective work. All he ever posts about is his assumptions and theories on petty crime cases. Normally I'd find any one of my friends' list fascinating, but here's the thing, Shinya never posts about his personal life. All he writes are long-winded rants on boring cases. It's far beyond the amount of dullness even I can stand. I fish my phone out of my handbag, pretend that I'm looking at Noise.
Oh, how about that? Looks like I don't have any incoming friend requests.
I quickly dip my phone back into my bag.
How peculiar. Well, I'll try and nudge again later.
Sure, no problem.
Well, anyway, I better get to it. Work hard today, okay?
You got it.
Shinya offers a formal bow and goes on his way. Before I can take a step towards my deck, a mocking voice whispers in my ear.
How long are you gonna lead on sweet little Shinya?
I shiver and find Tomo Watanabe lurking right behind me, buzzing around my neck like an irritating mosquito.
That poor boy really has the hots for ya. When are you gonna tell him you're a cold-hearted psycho?
Listen, I'm not leading him on, and I'm no psycho.
Huh. Sounds
Cap
like
to
something a
both.
real psycho type would say, don't you reckon?
Of course, this is none other than gal girl Tomoe. The very same brain-deaded moron who posts his morning about wanting to write Corpse Girl's website. He's the kind of person that likes to stir up trouble and instigate conflict. She had her vacant eyes on me since the day I first stepped foot in the office. I can't talk. She loves to torment me any chance she gets. Maybe I rubbed her the wrong way somehow, though I'm not sure what I ever did to her. Even though she's a data entry temp like me, she worked here just a little longer than I have. Unfortunately, that means I have to defer to her as my superior in this professional environment. She knows as much and likes to take advantage of the fact as often as possible.
It's funny, you know. You don't look like the type of skank to lead on a goody-goody like Shinya.
I told you, I'm not leading him on.
Well, if you're not interested, maybe I'll take him out this weekend and tongue him at the cinema.
Gross. Do what you want, but I doubt he's into someone with your, looks.
Oh yeah? What would she know? You think he likes your flat chest, little Miss Gothic Lolita?
I think I should shrug off I know I should shrug off comments such as this, and normally I would, but backing down from Tomoe isn't something I can do easily.
I'll give you a tip. Guys like Shinya are smart, clever. If you want to impress him, don't let him know your head is as full of air as your inflatable breasts.
A flash of crimson lights up Tomoe's face, and she looks ready to lash out at me. A group of coworkers, juniors like us, look over to us in concern. Tomoe takes a step back from me, but not before signaling a rude gesture with her
We
fingers.
ain't done here, Noriko. Watch your back.
I'm trembling.
Tomoe walks away and I breathe a sigh of relief. If it wasn't for having to deal with her, I wouldn't dread coming to work every day. Anyway, I wonder if she's planning to test out Corpse Girl's website. Will she try it on me since we just fought? Not really sure if I should be excited or scared. Either way, it would definitely be fun to find out what happens if she does try the website. Finally reach my desk and take note of the time. I was supposed to start working 5 minutes ago, so I quickly log into my computer and check today's task list. It's all standard stuff today. I need to transfer a few tables of numbers from a spreadsheet into a company's online database. When I'm done, I have to run it by a few other people and then commit the changes to the server. Work is dull and repetitive, but my salary isn't bad. On the plus side, I get to wear headphones to listen to music while I work. I dip into my handbag and retrieve my headphones, my phone, a can of milk coffee, and a handful of breath mints. I'll lay them out on my desk. I'll lay them all out on my desk neatly. I set my headphones on, plug them into my phone, and hit play on my work playlist. Loud symphonic metal lovingly thrashes my ears. I crack open the can of coffee and take a long sip.
Okay, let's get started.
I've returned home to my quiet, cramped apartment after work. The place is eerily silent, a stark contrast to the bustling office where I spend my days. Throwing my handbag onto the tiny coffee table, I pick up my laptop and sit on the couch. I lie back and get comfortable, letting the laptop rest on my stomach as it boots up. The welcome screen loads up, so I click a couple times, open my web browser, and then head to a very specific website saved in my favorites. Corpse Girl's website. Cute dancing zombie girls animated at the top of the page. A peculiar irregularity I don't like that word. That always makes me giggle. I noticed that the page view counter at the bottom of the site is nearly the same as it was yesterday. There have been maybe 4 or 5 new visitors. I heave a sigh. Even the website isn't quite that well known after all. That begs the question. How did Tomoe discover it? Well, never mind that. My eyes scan the website's content. Request of death. Big bold letters headline the site. The intention couldn't be clearer. Further information on the site is sparse. Brief instructions tell the user to fill in a victim's phone number and upload a photo. Aside from that, there's not much else to mention. It doesn't even ask for a name. After scanning the site, I move my mouse to the browser's address bar and click. I type a / after the website's address and add the word admin. I hit the enter key. Oh shit! The login page presents itself. An empty username and password fields waiting to be filled in. My fingers tap around the keyboard, and within moments, I'm presented with a brand new page. A blinking slab of text greets me. One new request. A crooked mouse cracks my stony expression. Finally, someone has requested a death. Someone has asked me, Corpse Girl, to kill. Oh shit, she's Corpse Girl! This is where things get exciting. I giggle and feel my cheeks flush red. This is the first request I've had for about a week. I've been logging in every morning, fingers crossed that somebody's elected a new victim for me. Today, my wish has come true. I can't help but feel emotional at a time like this. My lower lip trembles and I feel tears welling up. I dab the corners of my eyes gently to avoid smudging my makeup. As I hover my mouse cursor over the view request button, a familiar and pleasant tingling sensation surges in my chest, my stomach, my thighs. I shiver with anticipation, my hot and steamy breath beginning to fog up the laptop screen. I click the button. Request details. Today, 2:47, local time. Victim's phone. Downloading image attachment. Doing photo automatically loads on my screen. Further in front of me is a total stranger, but that's okay. Doesn't change the task set out before me. A woman, rather plain in her early 30s. She's well dressed with minimal makeup, and she's not really putting her personality on display. It's a real nice photo. Better quality than some of the images I received in the past. In fact, the photo looks like a corporate ID picture. I wonder if it downloaded from a company database or website. Well, this was the photo, doesn't matter. Simple fact of the matter is that somebody's made a request for this person to die. It falls to me to fulfill that request, and as Corpse Girl, I take requests very, very seriously. I have the victim's photo and I have her phone number. All I need now is select a way for her to meet her untimely demise. I previously thought about including an extra field on my website, an option for users to choose the way they want their victim to die. After all, it would reduce the amount of strain on my creativity if the method was decided for me. But for careful consideration, I decided against it. Some people are sick, twisted. The cause of death could be far beyond my means and impossible to achieve. Therefore, allowing the user to define the cause of death just isn't feasible. Instead, I'll stick to my current modus operandi. Everything depends on the quality of the victim's photo. If it's detailed and the victim's features are easily distinguishable, then I can be rather creative with the cause of death. Perhaps the victim's face suffers grotesque burns, or she has an iron stake thrust through her skull. However, if the victim's photo is low quality and doesn't provide enough details to identify the subject, I'd resort to the default cause of death. Terrible, unlucky fall from a great height. Maybe she slips, or maybe someone stumbles into her and sends her tumbling over a rail. Then the result will be the same, a swift, crushing death from on high. The victim will end up face down on the concrete, completely unrecognizable, save for her clothes and accessories. It's not my favorite cause of death, but in some cases it's necessary. Regardless, it is still a valid way to fulfill the request. For now, it's time to get started.